It's a sandbox. It's a soapbox. It's FanBox.
And that is right. This is episode number 13. Lucky number 13. We are on to New Who, season 2 of the 15th Doctor's episode, The Well. I'm Tony. You know me from TikTok, probably, maybe, I don't know, possibly, but we're most importantly on It's FanBox. You can find us at itsfanbox.com, youtube.com/itsfanbox, or you can find out more about the podcast that we do on fanboxnetwork.com. Not only do we do this show, we've done Daredevil Born Again. We've talked about Agatha all along. We are also right now doing an After Andor show on Saturday nights that are kind of filling in that place for Daredevil Born Again, which went really well last night. I enjoyed watching. So if you haven't checked it out, you can find it anywhere you get your podcasts. Just look up It's FanBox and you'll find those things. But more importantly, we have a great cast of people today talking about this episode, which I'm very excited about. So we're going to go and start with our newest member to the Tardis Talk family. And you've seen her before if you've watched any of our shows. And that is, of course, Sarah from Movies and Tea. Tell us where we can find you.
Yeah, hi. I'm Sarah, and I'm at Movies and Tea across all platforms.
All right. And
do we want to go back to rotation, or?
Yeah, give me just a second, because for whatever reason, it's not wanting me to click here to continue. There we go. So let's go to Niko.
Hello, Niko Skywalker on TikTok. I cosplay I don't have any doctory stuff. I cosplay the Doctor, Skywalker Niko on Instagram for my convention antics.
Okay. And now that we've got the actual zooming in working again, because of course we have to have technological issues. Johnny, I'm gonna let you go next.
Okay, hi, I am Marvelous Johnny, also known as Marvelous Jonathan on most of my platforms. If you all want to find anything I do, just go to TikTok or FanBox, where I will probably write and be on more shows. Also check out my YouTube and Twitch.
And I believe you have a prop for this evening or for this afternoon.
Oh, which one? I got 2.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
All right. And then, of course, last but not least, and I put you last for a specific purpose, David, I want you to tell us about everything you're doing, especially last night's.
All right. Well, I am David, Xanatos1138 on all socials, mostly TikTok. I just restarted doing Twitch, and I am the host of, or one of the hosts of Andor, the Andor after show that was happening last Saturday or yesterday at 10 p.m. And we're going to make that a regular thing for each arc. So check us out each week on Saturday night, 10 p.m.
Perfect. And we are going to get Sarah back up on there because technological issues have to happen. But we're talking about Doctor Who. This episode, The Well.
More like swell.
Yes. If there's any question about the fact that there was some cake there. But yeah, so definitely, I would say probably my favorite episode of the last 2 seasons that we've gotten, the 15th Doctor. It felt like, and I said this in the Discord chat, it feels like classic New Who. Mm-hmm. And so you guys go for it. I know Niko even has some notes for today. So.
Oh, Niko's got notes.
Love the episode, of course. Well, I want to talk about first. This creature feels like a reverse weeping angel in a sort. Is one thing I have here on these notes where you can't look at them. Like looking at them is what you shouldn't do.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Which is an interesting rule to throw in.
Right? One thing I noticed when they told him the planet was midnight, he does a David Tennant. What?
Yeah. It'd be so funny if he threw on his best Scottish accent ever and just went, what?
Well, midnight, when he said midnight, I mind you, I went back and watched Midnight again. Midnight was one of those episodes where the Doctor didn't save the day.
No.
No, the people saved the Doctor, or at least we know that the attendant to the people.
I was gonna say, I don't think anybody saved anyone really besides the attendant, and even then, she's the reason why they were going to throw anyone out to begin with.
Yeah, that happened again in this episode. Like, it wasn't the doctor didn't save anyone. It was like that. I don't remember her name, but
I call it the marksman lady.
But like, she didn't even end up saving. That's what drives me. I guess I'll go next. This episode was great, and I can talk about my rant later.
Will had the same problem, and I had the same problem of like she did this noble sacrifice, and then classic horror movie ending. It meant nothing because
Yeah.
it's still there.
Okay, I'm gonna butt in here real quick, but like I rewatched the episode after watching Midnight this morning, and I'm just like, by the end of it, like they don't confirm if it actually got off and attached itself to the other lady.
Yeah.
It's just the possibility.
Well, there's wind that goes past, but that's like a loose confirmation.
That's the thing though, like I was looking very vividly. I went back so many times just to make sure. Like I couldn't see anything.
Yeah, because with the first lady, like they really do show a creature like peeking out, but they never show that with her.
Exactly. So I'm just like, maybe they're just trying to play off our paranoia and fear from this
Yes,
episode.
another part of my notes. This creature has its own rules and breaks them a lot.
Yeah.
And
sorry.
the thing about this is like this plays onto a common paranoia that people have. This is something that we've all had this issue. I mean, go back to what was it, the 12th Doctor? There was the whole thing about the beings under the bed.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a manifestation. Seeing something that's not there, having a sense of deja vu, like getting something in the corner of your eye, even if you go back to like even the first episode with the 11th Doctor, which I ended up going on like a tailspin.
Prisoner Zero. It reminded me of
Zero.
as well.
The perception filter is something that we know that has a lot to do with more than just the TARDIS.
Mm-hmm.
And so, there's this concept like, it plays on our fears because it's something that happens naturally. And I think that's what makes a really good monster, because it's something that we can relate to in what we've seen. Like you've been moments where, a shadow will be cast and you're just kind of like, and it's like, what was that? Probably nothing. And it's like, that's exactly what happens. Yep. So, the idea that we don't know if it's down the well, we don't know if it's with her, but just imagining what the next moments would be for those two characters after that realization that it could be on that ship gets your mind running. And that's what I love about like some of these like cliffhanging Doctor Who episodes, because you never know.
Exactly.
And it was the same monster as Midnight though, like the same.
Yep, it's supposed to be the same one. But that's the interesting thing I found, because they kept saying this monster was playing with people, and that in Midnight the monster was also playing with them. But when I was rewatching him, like it's very obvious that this monster is learning more than playing.
Yes.
And due to the way Midnight ended, the monster very much took on a lot of the 10th Doctor. So I'm just thinking like maybe it's playing with them now because it learned from the 10th Doctor.
But also like them breaking the mirrors, because if you remember what would happen during Midnight, she was verbally mirroring everything that the Doctor was saying until the point she took over the Doctor.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was no longer mirroring words like the first time. It was doing other stuff.
It was controlling.
Yeah. It was independent of like anybody else.
Yeah.
I love the aspect of it playing, because like it feels like it almost intentionally is like standing behind people, so the Doctor's like, if this was a clock, it'd be at midnight.
Yeah. That was a great way to call it back.
Yeah, absolutely. I also love the fact that the human race doesn't exist, but ASL does.
Yeah.
It's British science.
BSL.
Yeah.
Which is so funny, because it's like, okay, so you're English, but there's no Earth.
You're just doing it with a teacup in your hand usually.
Right. Yeah, and like a scone. It's fine.
Well, there's a north in every planet, isn't there?
Exactly.
Oh man. I will say the line when I first saw the pit, I had already kind of seen some like comments in our Discord chat. Sarah, I'm gonna have to add you to it. I don't know if you do Discord or anything, but literally I think there was a fear of it being the Satan pit at first.
That's my first thought was it was a callback to Satan. And I went, I knew it. Wait, I didn't know it. That's a different monster.
I hated that episode, I'm not gonna lie.
I did not like CGI Satan.
They really made you think it though. Not only was it like a non-living planet, you had that giant hole that was very reminiscent, and then there was a dead star. Like you had the concept, like, okay, there could have been a black hole there at one point, and then the star died out, or something happened, and then of course then you get to the point where you find out it's midnight, it's the planet Midnight.
Yeah.
Which,
And,
by the way, is one of my favorite David Tennant episodes. Honestly, I love a good
Same.
bottle episode.
It's a very
That-
good one.
I will say wasn't my favorite at first, but this episode made it more interesting.
Really?
And
Okay.
yeah.
Well, on the topic of the Doctor Who Satan, it always reminds me of Tenacious D. Like, I can't take that look seriously.
That's very, yeah, I've never thought about that before.
Okay, see here, there was recently like a Santa Claus movie where Jack Black was Satan, but then the kid was trying to write a letter to Santa Claus, but he was dyslexic, so he wrote it to Satan.
Yes.
So now that you said Tenacious D and Satan, I'm now imagining Jack Black mixed with Steve from Minecraft, because that's relevant.
Of course, yeah.
Now I can only think of it like doing riffs. Thank you so much for that image.
Oh Lord, David, how dare you?
That's what I'm here for. Yeah.
Oh, Shooty learned sign language at the end of each like recording day just for this episode.
Mhm.
Oh,
And
I love
that's
that.
The woman was
That's
very
so
impressed by it because he was very like diligently after shooting every day learning more sign language just for this episode.
Hmm.
And I thought that was
Cool.
pretty cool. He got like really emotional talking about it. He was like, it's like a very beautiful language. Tears say that. Why am I crying?
Yeah, she
I
said it-
definitely thought that it was like a combination of like multiple episodes, because there were 2 episodes, I think, with the 12th Doctor. One where like there was a person who was like hard of hearing or deaf, and like he didn't know how to like sign. And then there was another episode, I think again with maybe the 12th Doctor or the 11th Doctor, where like again there was like an abandoned spaceship, and like the people on the ship were dead, and so they sent out a party to go and find, and it ended up being like these like spider things. Do you guys remember that episode? I don't even remember the Doctor which Doctor it was. I think it was the 11th. It was like spider type people, and then Clara brought her like the person that she was nannying.
Oh,
Guys.
yeah,
Oh,
that was the moon planet.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, the moon and a half.
All right,
Yes.
all right.
I remember that one.
Yeah, I just felt like there was a lot of like combination of like a bunch of episodes that have happened, and it was really cool in that regard.
Yeah, it had a lot of reminiscence to previous Doctor Who, and I think that is probably one of the things that I like, because Doctor Who is always been these one-off stories, but they're also interconnected to things that have happened in the past. And I think just even that little flashback where you saw Shooty, like he's realizing what's going on, and you have a flashback to his like in the same position David Tennant's face from that previous episode, like making that connection, it made it fleshed it out more, and it allowed for more interconnectivity, and I like that. Because I feel like sometimes these episodes are connective into themselves, like last episode leads into this episode, but really does it feel like it's fleshing into the previous Doctor Who, like the lives of Doctor Who or whatever, other than him referencing like, oh yeah, I've done this before. It made it more important to me.
The guy that played like the skeptical soldier that was like, why are we following this guy?
The Asian guy?
I guess.
Only you can say that.
Very Asian. He looked Asian. You can say Asian guy. He looked Asian.
I don't want to confirm or assume anything, but have any of you ever seen
Looking at him
That
now,
was
he's
a punchable
Asian.
face.
Have any of you ever seen Slow Horses?
No.
No.
He plays this really obnoxious incel of a hacker character that you just want to punch in the face. So I could not picture anyone else the entire time seeing it. I was like, please have him die first. Please.
I mean, he does have a punchable face. I do
Yes.
want to say.
I have that same feeling with, I think it's Todd in Breaking Bad, like the last like really terrible guy. Anytime I see him in anything, I'm like, I hate you. And then I have to like backstab, like, wait, never mind, your character.
There was an episode of Doctor Who in the past, The Empress of Mars. That guy reminded me of the guy who mutinied in that one as well. Do you guys remember that one? Empress of Mars. Somehow the Doctor ends up on Mars, like they're in caves. Basically, British soldiers have been fighting on the planet, and they're like occupying the planet. And you find out that one of the leader of the group was like, he ran away and was a traitor. And they encounter like this army of Martians that have been in
Was
stasis.
this the 13th Doctor?
This was 2017, so I think it was. Yes.
Yeah.
No,
No,
yeah.
that might have been 12 then. If
it was
2017.
Capaldi. It was
Yeah.
Capaldi. Yeah.
Oh.
So they discovered the tomb of the Queen of the Ice Warriors, and the one guy is listening to the doctor, and the other guy's like, we're not listening to you, and he like completely he cages them and everything else, and I was like, okay, this feels like this episode again. Like I'm
that's the funny
What's
thing.
the episode? I just want to look it up real quick. I don't know
Empress of Mars. It was aired on June 10th of 2017.
It was Capaldi's second series, if I'm correct. Yeah.
It's when Bill and Nardole are both with him.
Oh, third then.
Oh,
That's
third.
like when these soldiers from past time era get trapped on Mars, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay. I remember slowly.
But it is funny you mentioned Capaldi because I'm watching this episode. I'm just like, because when I sent in our group chat saying like they make some questionable writing decisions or character decisions, and for me that questionableness came in the form of the doctor allowing the guy with the punchable face, or as I like to call him, the Asian guy, go like, shut up or I'm gonna kill you, and let me just, send these other fellow soldiers that I know who are my friends, literally just talking about how much you care for them, to their deaths, just trying to walk around this girl.
So Johnny, I just remembered his name in Slow Horses is Roddy Ho.
He is a hoe.
That is a way more racist name than just me going, the Asian guy.
That's great.
But no, you know what? Let's just. Are we far enough that we can just swear in this episode yet, Tony?
I think we are.
Okay, cool. I'm just gonna call him that bitch. Point is, I'm just watching this episode. I'm just like, wow, the doctor's letting these people just take control and letting them send themselves off to their death. And
what's he gonna do though?
Okay,
like, what's he gonna go tackle them and be like, no, you can't?
All right, let's just say this: the guy who we're talking about, we'll just go ahead and get this done. His name is Cassio. Christopher Chung is his name.
Like a Cheerio.
Okay, so that's an Asian as fuck last name, but also Cassio. Good timing, considering we have Cassian Andor right now.
It's Palin Pauline is his last name. Cassio Palin Pauline was the character.
I'm just gonna call him. I'm just gonna call him Casa.
Or you could call him CPP.
I'm sorry. But like the moment like he's like, I'm gonna go and find him, and he gets behind her, he gets in front of her, and like there's people behind, and they start flying and dying, and he's like, oh, let me juke him, I'm gonna get him. Like, and he's like going back and forth.
This had to have been some of the best wire work and most fun they must have had on set, though. Just like the amount of people just being yeeted.
It's like no, stop moving, I'm gonna duck and weave. They're like, it's like you could tell he probably just didn't care about any of them at all. Like, they all did matter. He was just like,
he says they did.
Yeah. So it was great.
No, he like literally committed mutiny within like the first 15 minutes of the episode. Legal mutiny. Which what is that loophole? Like, if one person agrees with this,
one single person,
then okay, you're good. You can commit the mutiny.
Not a majority.
Not a majority. I was shook. I was like, one person.
Like, really, it just took your bald buddy here just for him to get thrown.
Right? Yeah, like died immediately.
I'm like, oh, you must feel like such a fool.
It was great.
It was. I did enjoy it. But for like, I'm just imagining this episode though if it was like with the 12th Doctor, and I'm like, Capaldi would have yelled at these idiots to to calm the fuck down and just have fully taken control. Which isn't me going like, oh, I wish Capaldi did this episode. It's always interesting to consider these new scenarios with older doctors and all that, right?
If David said he would have been constantly side-eyeing every person holding a gun. It's like, you have a gun in your hand. It's like, okay, I don't like you.
Capaldi would have kept instigating and just going like, okay, whatever you say, and just demeaning them. Like, just stop being a toy soldier. Just calm down there.
And
like,
Smith would have been jumping around like a crazy person trying to figure out where to go.
Yep. And Jodie would have thrown a spoon, I guess.
Yeah, she would have kind of just been like, what do I do? Actually, she was giving, like, I feel like she would have done the same thing that Shooty did.
Almost definitely, yeah.
I feel like Jodie might have been like, all right, so can I now Do you mutiny you?
Honestly, that would have been perfect. The doctor just like, okay, so now I'm gonna throw up that code. Yeah,
Right?
cool.
We're
I'm in
throwing up red
control now.
codes. Right?
This is legal. This is fine.
Yeah, she just needs one person on her side. It'll be
There you
good.
go.
Is this?
And technically, Belinda was right there.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Have we seen
but
this?
that wouldn't count because she wasn't like
Uh,
whatever.
You guys just reminded me when he said, I outranked this person. He held up the psychic paper.
Mm-hmm.
First time this season we've seen that? I forget. Or did he use that before?
Yeah.
No, he used it on this season. I think so.
Yeah,
Because
but he used it
Belinda
last
looked at it
season.
like, what is that? It's a blank sheet of paper. And that was never brought up to her again.
I
Yeah,
remember
he has
from
somebody else
last
to get.
season he used it on Rogue, and then when he
Yeah.
read it, it's like it says "I'm sexy," and like, sorry, are you saying I'm sexy or are you sexy?
Yeah.
Do you ever think we're going to see
Ooh.
Rogue again? Like,
I hope
hope
can we
so.
get back to that?
Please.
I hope so. If
He's
we can
probably
come
gonna
back
end up
to
being a villain,
midnight,
though.
that would be great. Oh no! Please don't make him a villain. That would be so sad.
He's lost in some other dimension or something right now. He might go insane. I don't
Yeah,
know.
with bird people. Oh god, he's talking to birds. Maybe his level of crazy will match the doctor's level of crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
no.
the best you can hope for when
think
trying to
I
find
was-
someone.
I was just watching the first episode of Matt Smith's run when he takes on patient was it Prisoner Zero, and at the end she's like, "What are you?" She's like, "I just thought you were some madman with a box," and he's like, "Let's get one thing straight. I am a madman with a
I
box."
am a madman with a box. Yeah, he said that twice in his run. He said it again later on, like when Amy was thinking that he was like basically God, which I was like, oh my god, girl, you need to tone it back a bit.
Capaldi was great with that, where like he declared in front of Missy, and I think Clara's like, "I am an
An
idiot
idiot
with a box."
and a screwdriver, passing through, helping out, learning.
I did like Capaldi the way he did with his cadence.
yeah.
He was talking about stuff.
It was good. He had good delivery.
I also like that in this we get a reference back to that because the doctor calls himself an idiot as well when he realizes what's happening.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And I want to say this too. I know with Sutek, there was a level of fear that he exhibited when he realized what was going on. I saw the fear that was on his eyes was much more than we saw with Sutek. Like,
Yeah.
because this was the only time that he ever was like not in control of himself to the point of where he was at the mercy of everyone else around him.
Mm-hmm. However, I
And-
will say
Wanted a
nothing
vile
beats
creature in
as
this episode.
scared as he was with the musical one.
Mhm.
I'm forgetting.
Yeah. He immediately turned and started running. I'm like, where's
Yeah.
he going? Where's he
The
running?
doctor went and hid in a basement.
Yeah, the whole thing about when he
The
offered
maestro.
to-
That's what it was.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
when he offered to to have the creature latch on him, is like, this is going to be another Sutek situation where it's just going to hitch a ride.
Thought the same
Legit.
thing.
We now have the weird black alien skinny humanoid thing just latched to the side of the TARDIS. Oh man. However, in this episode, they mentioned like when they were digging, they heard a laugh. And when I heard that, I'm like, are they gonna play ha 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 ha? I'm like, is this
Yeah.
another freaking harbinger or something? Like, what's happening?
Mrs.
And that
Flood is
villain
somehow
knew his
connected.
name.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
yeah,
Crazy.
Did anyone notice like at the what was it at the beginning of the episode, like when we were in Lux and he's there in the 1950s, he gets the Vindicator, he does what he needs to do, but he starts wanting to look around and getting involved.
Mhm.
This episode, he does the Vindicator. He's like, I'm ready to go back to my ship. Like
The man learned his lesson.
he wasn't interested in finding out what they were doing. He just wanted to get going.
Just like, I do not want to deal with another god.
Well, I think he's also like kind of realizing that there is a bigger issue going on with like Earth, and I think this episode definitely like confirmed it for him. But like, I think by the end of Lux, he's like realizing, oh shit, like we can't get to Earth. Like why? And let's try to do this as quickly as possible. Because like, what if I can't do it as quickly as possible? Then like maybe bad stuff is happening currently and I got to get back. So I feel like
You
that's
get
kind of
time
where he's like
locked.
coming from. Yeah.
Yeah. Good point.
And
Yeah.
next episode is going to be
The
Ruby's
return
back.
of Ruby Sunday.
Yes,
And
Makes me
that's
so
actually the first
happy.
episode they shot this season.
Her
Yeah.
boyfriend, which doesn't like when I saw in the preview, he's like, "We're a team, like you and the doctor." And, oh boy, that's not going to end well.
Oh my gosh.
No, that didn't end well with Rose and like whatever her boyfriend
Mhm.
was. What's his face?
Mickey?
You guys remember
Mickey.
him? Yeah,
He,
Mickey.
he ended up with Martha Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like not after some like hardcore jealousy.
No, what
That's
you have to
true.
really feel bad for is Ricky. Ricky got the short end of the stick.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Who's Ricky again?
Ricky
Oh,
was the
yes,
other
the
Mickey.
Other
alternate
Earth
dimension.
Mickey.
Yeah. Honestly, nothing as bad as Danny, though, getting turned into a Cyberman.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Literally
No,
dying
we cannot
and being
talk
brought
about
back.
this person.
Poor Danny Pink. Just saying.
I'm
That
also
episode
going to say this,
does
like,
things to me.
Yeah, same.
I will also say, like, of the companions, I feel Billy got the biggest shaft when it came.
Yeah, I was about to say Billy and Danny like
Bill
both got turned into cyber people.
Like,
Bill,
like
I feel so bad
Danny,
for.
Danny was dead, and he came back, and he had an opportunity to be a hero. Billy didn't realize she was a Cyberman until later on. That was like that moment. I was like, my stomach dropped. I felt so bad.
But as the 14th Doctor said, she lives on as like living glass or something like that, I think.
That's great. That's lovely.
Yeah, I love
Because
that.
Living
what is it?
memories.
There is a company in the future that comes back to the moment when people die and grabs their consciousness so that their loved ones can
Right.
visit them in the future. So she's still alive, but like
But as much as alive can be.
only in like her memories are now inserted into it. But also that's like the Doctor. His memories just go to
Move
a
on to
different
the
body,
next
but
post,
still
yeah.
alive.
Now,
so
if I remember correctly, because it's been a while since I've watched an episode, we never see Clara in that episode, do we?
Yeah, we do.
We do at the very end.
It uses the same like
Memories
shell
that he
to
had.
show him Clara
hoping-
and grants him his memories back.
I was hoping that they didn't see Clara because she's still off gallivanting with me.
No, it wasn't the Clara, but because it. Wait,
Sorry,
I just realized this confirms Clara's death.
Yeah, because she paused, which means she didn't. She in order for her to be seen by the glass, she would have to then have been.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
And
Nico's
that-
gonna
I'm
go
like,
through
Tardis
the stages
Talk,
of
guys.
grief
Well,
right now.
Tardis
Last
Talk, we
moment-
just figured it out. Clara's
No,
dead.
no,
Last
what did I
moments
just do?
before death, though. I mean, technically, she did.
It could have
die
gone before the
they
Raven.
paused it. So I mean, there's.
But like, keep in
Well,
mind,
we do.
wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, she can still exist in other points of time
I don't
before
know,
her
I'm-
death.
As traumatic as it is, I think I'm sticking to this theory that just happened here.
By the way, it's funny that you said, "Oh, Clara's just out there gallivanting with me." I'm like, you want to be out gallivanting with Clara? Like, wait, no. Maisie's character's name was me.
Yeah.
Dude,
Completely
listen,
forgot at that moment.
I am the newest.
No, that's what
of
I
the
heard as well.
Whovians here. I am the newest of the Whovians. You better keep up, or else
Look,
I'm gonna
look,
I
pass this
wanna-
one.
look. If you
I
had
still wanna
said
see-
that and you meant yourself, I would get it. I wish it was me too.
I wish it was me too, but like, come on, like, but we're talking about me in the sense of not me, but me.
I still want to see the flying diner again. Seeing it once was not enough.
Oh,
That is
absolutely.
great. I do
Oh,
love
that
that
was
thing.
cool.
I would
Wait,
love
Wait,
to
can we
find out
talk
the
that
about
Doctor Who mobile
Mrs.
game?
Flood, please?
Oh yes.
Before we
Okay.
go on a tangent, because I
Yes.
think she's the master, and I just want to say that.
Yeah, and
Anyways.
also like why is she so interested in the Vindicators?
Legit, yeah. I'm like, what does the Vindicator
Because she
do?
because if she is the master, then she would like to see the Doctor's downfall and like to see him play this game that he's like playing with himself, I guess. I don't know, trying to get back to Earth, and it's like funny for her. I'm going with the theory that she's the master. That's why I'm saying
But this would
I'm
then
hoping
mean that
the
she's
Ronnie.
but this would then mean that she's a pre-Missy master, right?
Or a post Missy one?
Yeah,
Or
post-Missy
post Sasha
master.
DeWall one?
No, because I thought he killed Missy. Missy couldn't regenerate because he killed her.
The master killed Missy.
Right.
The older.
The past master killed
Yeah.
Missy, and we don't
The-
know what's
the
happened
Saxon
between that master and the master we got with the 13th. So she
Well, the
could
13th
be
master survived, right? I
right,
don't remember what
but
happened.
he could have been a pre-Missy master,
Or a pre-David Tennant master, even.
right?
Because the 13th master inhabited her body, and then she took it back, and it's all this stuff.
Because remember, Missy was going to go back and help the Doctor against the Cybermen.
Yep.
And he shot her, and then she was going to
Yeah, right.
regenerate, and he shot her again and killed her. Because if you kill them before they regenerate,
They die. Yeah.
So
They were both laughing their asses off too.
And the Master is not the timeless child either, so
Yeah, again, another jealous person in the series.
Oh my god, I love that, like, how jealous you feel from 13's master, Sasha. Like, you can really go, it's like, I want to be you, but I can't be you, so you can't be you. Bang.
Doctor Who's confusing.
It is.
Wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey.
Timey-wimey.
Exactly. Oh, Lord. But I don't know. I don't think I want it to be the Master. I just, because, like, Russell T Davies loves to end his seasons on, like, known Doctor Who villains. I just want, for once, I want him to not do that. I want him to do, here's a new classical character that we can maybe bring back in the future as well, kind of thing.
can we also say something like this? Actually, kind of like just popped in my head. When he uses the Sonic to fix the machines, the computers, they go, "What is that?" And he says, "Magic." We're talking about an advanced civilization in the future that does not know what a sonic probe is.
I guess.
Apparently.
Didn't Captain Jack say that, like, the factory that made Sonic equipment, like, blew up or something like that?
Yeah, the Doctor blew it up and made it a banana pod.
Yeah, there we go.
Interesting.
And that was confirmed in the Doctor Dances.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm trying to plug in my laptop. Give me 2 seconds.
Oh, God.
Oh, you're fine. I love the fact that as you talk, your icon lights up.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yep. So you can always see me.
Man,
what else was there to this episode?
It was a very self-contained episode, but it had a lot of like repercussions, just like pulling from the past. There's this promise of possibly the creature got off the planet.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Who knows? We can return back to it in like another 8-10 years when Russell T Davies comes back.
I want to see
Assuming
a Dalek
he's
or a Cyberman or something, from class or Weeping Angels, like all of that stuff. I want to see at least one of those this season.
I'll take another Martian Ice Warrior.
I'd go for I want to see Daleks. I really want to see Daleks. Like I've always found them the most fascinating and entertaining of the villains, even though they're very simple. Like in their like, was it the genocide like mentality that they have? But
just the very idea of Shooty's sass mixed with a Dalek sass just seems like great dialogue.
Oh, like him, like I could see him like messing with them and like dancing around them, like talking to them. Like I want that. Like
see her, now that you've said that though, at the same time, I'm like, how can you create a scenario where Shooty's doctor can cry for a Dalek? Because I kind of want that now that
he would figure it out, and he would.
Saying
because he's quite literally, I believe, in every single episode. Well, at least in every single episode this season, he's cried.
He's cried every episode.
And I think in the previous season, I think maybe also single episode, if I'm not mistaken. So he's definitely emotional.
He's the more empathetic of the doctors. Like all of them loved humans. All of them like loved life and loved like protecting life, until they didn't want to. But then like he's the one that's like he's more fascinated with everybody that he's around. And this and it was so funny because like the way he's talking to was it Cassio, I guess the the punchable face dude.
Casa?
Like what he was like giving him nicknames and he's like, don't call me, he's like, don't call me sweetie or something like that.
He said it's not appropriate for you to call me
babe.
Okay, hon.
Okay, hon.
I like that. See, that was a bit of the 12th Doctor coming out there.
Oh man. But
I was gonna say the one episode I think he didn't cry in for season 1 for Shooty's run was 73 Yards, and that's because he was unavailable for most of the
show. He was literally not in that episode. It does not count.
Exactly. But almost every other one, he cries for the racist kids. He cries for Rogue. He's on a time bomb crying for the dad. So yeah, for the most part, he cries.
That's true. He really does.
I want them to land back on that planet with all of those racist kids and just find the remains like strewn across. Like I just want to see them gone.
I want one of them just sunburnt to shit. Just saying.
Oh man, we just went dark.
I think that would have been good.
Which episode was this?
That was the bubble.
Dot and bubble.
Dot bubble.
Where you had like
Oh.
teenagers.
Remember, he comes up on the screen and she's like, "What's this?" And she
Right.
like pushes him away.
Like, I blocked
Right.
you.
Let's wait for
Yeah,
the white chick
no.
to show up to say something.
And then the doctor
Oh, no, I
appears on the
really-
screen.
I-
There's literally red on it, but Ruby popping up, it's nothing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man, if only we were doing this show when that happened, because I remember the moment when we were all talking in the chat and like we realized like it was all about racism. And it was like, oh man.
Yeah, no, when someone said, I'm like, I need to go back. And I'm like, holy shit, yeah, it is.
Yeah,
did
like
not
they
catch
call
the
the TARDIS
microaggression.
voodoo, and I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah. No, I remember hearing the voodoo part. I'm like, that feels a bit racist, but okay. And like, they're on another planet. They probably just, it's the TARDIS' translation or something.
Yeah, it's
No, you
probably-
guys calling it out right now. I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. But I was like, when you guys were talking about this, I'm like, who are you talking about?
The only time I remember Doctor Who tackling racism was the Rosa Parks episode.
Like
was-
you initially
That's
think
not
it's
true.
all about just social media and about how social media makes you numb to things around you and like the dangers of it. But it was so much deeper than that.
So subtle
He
then.
was the
Like that was
only black
really
guy on the
really
entire
well
planet.
done.
And the moment he appeared, you saw disgust on their faces.
It
And it
was
was like, and then Ruby had to be the spokesperson.
The
Like-
biggest thing that gave it away for me was when she said, like, oh, I just thought you were some other guy, just not realizing that he was the actual same person, but making that subtle implication of the statement of all black people look the same.
Right?
it was
And then like when he walks up at the end of the episode, she's like, "Hold on, guys, I'll address him." Well, she's
Yeah.
like, we can't travel with you,
Yeah.
you know. And then like
Mhm.
looks back at all the way. I'm like, this is crazy.
I even went like, this is a
Oh.
lot of white people. Where's the people of color?
The
Not
prime-
a single other black
I
person in that
need
episode.
to rewatch this. I mean, it makes sense. Like the bubble is literally like an idealistic society
Yep.
for
Yeah.
just the elite and the rich and the
And
white.
you wonder
So it
why
makes
somebody
sense.
sent all of those parasitic monsters to eat them.
It was just the bubble itself.
the prime example of needing to watch an episode twice, because the first time I watched it, I spent the first half feeling sorry for her because she's in danger, she's scared, she's whatever. And then knowing the whole thing, the second time I was like, I hate you. I hate you so much. And then you catch all the other stuff the second time.
See here, that's
Oh,
why
I sat in
when-
silence after I finished that episode for the first time. I was like, this is tackling racism in a show and having something important to say, not
legit.
Rosa.
Which, like, I still remember when we did a review of the Robot Revolution. I'm like, did they need to be so obvious by saying, like, Planet of the Incels? And then I'm remembering Dot and Bubble. I'm just like, I didn't even pick it up on the first one, so I guess so.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there is that fun of going back and realizing it.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? Season 2, we realized we probably need to call it for what it is, or else some people are going to completely miss it.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Go back and watch Dot and Bubble. That was a very
Yeah, I will.
We'll have to regather
Yeah.
your thoughts. And
Oh my god,
opinions.
that was the first 15 outfit I had, right? After I finished the episode, I was like, I'm wearing the cosplay the doctor got racially profiled in. All right.
I am not walking out in public in this.
They did you wrong, Niko.
And
Is that
also,
the only
that was
episode he wears
Shooty's
that?
first
He's
episode that
wearing
he shot.
it in Church of Ruby Road.
Yeah.
He wears it.
We're
in that.
trying.
Yeah, with the hat.
Yeah.
Oh man. I can't
And then
wait to
there's
go
his
back and actually
Paddington
talk about that
look
episode
in
itself.
73 yards.
I love that outfit.
You should get that outfit. I would love that.
What's funny is I have it already just in bits and like that's literally the stuff I have in my wardrobe. I was like, I have that outfit.
Last episode with Lux, I literally want to like cosplay as one of the like the people watching the show that were interested in the show. Like, I just want to get the scarf and just wear it and just be like, yeah, I'm cosplaying them, not the doctor.
There you go. I'm just cosplaying.
Or just get a
the
Grogu
Doctor
shirt.
Who's version of a Doctor Who fan.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, because wearing Grogu shirts is now canon to Who.
Is
Yeah, I
it?
guess so.
Because the one of the three that were watching the Doctor Who as he was coming out of the screen, she was in the wheelchair. She had the Grogu shirt on.
I was
No, that was
wondering
that
what
was
she
the
was
meat.
wearing. I'm like, what animal?
No, that was the
Disney
meat from the
synergy.
60th anniversary at Sardis.
Which means Star Wars is canon.
Heck yeah, it is. Well, no, it's actually canon external. It's our canon, but they're canon.
What's it called? I thought it
It's
was
the canon's canon.
Wibbly wobbly.
Reality warpy. Lord.
Oh man.
And Star Trek too, because Shooty mentions he wanted to visit that. And God, what episode was that?
That would be fun.
And Scooby Doo.
Oh yes,
And
and
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo now.
Because
Thanks
I'm
to
Velma,
Lux.
baby.
Right.
Oh man, if they did a Star Trek themed Doctor Who episode where the people that were going to be dead were wearing red shirts, that would be so fucking funny. Sorry.
I would have loved that.
There's also this callback in 13th Doctor. I think they mentioned another Disney movie. I don't remember which one. Maybe the Lion King.
Yeah, it was Lion King because he said it was when the 10th Doctor was fighting he was fighting for the planet. When we first meet what's her name? What's the former prime minister?
I'm
Oh,
forgetting her name, but you know her face. She looks tired.
Yeah. Yeah, he goes from the day we arrived on the planet, the blinking step into the sun. There's more to see. Wait, that's Doctor.
Right.
Okay, yeah, no, now I remember the quote.
Yes.
Hey, no, now that's the Lion King.
Oh yeah, the she looks tired one. That was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Harriet Jones.
Harriet Jones.
There we go.
I had to think back when she held up the badge a bunch.
Yeah,
of
you have to
times.
kind of like Harriet Jones.
That's better than me. I would have Googled it.
Man. I don't know. I don't think there's really much to talk more about with the episode. It was
it's kind of a bottle episode in some ways.
I will tell you, like I felt better about Lux after talking about it here. I gave it better, which by the way, Johnny, since we didn't do this for last episode, my friend, you're pulling it up.
Yeah,
we did not rate last episode, so we're all going to be able to do that now. So
I do have Sarah's name here as well for Lux's rating. So
yep, since we are trying to rate these
episodes.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
that's so exciting.
Just do the heart now.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, wait.
Okay.
There we go. It'll also
Nice,
do the
nice.
thumbs up ones.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
So
Lux ratings, real quick.
Yep. I'll go ahead and start it. I would say this was better for me this kind of like after talking about it last week. So I'll give it about an 8.
Wait, Lux or the Well?
Lux. I'm
Okay.
not talking about
Lux.
William.
Okay, we'll do Lux first. Niko, what do you give Lux last week?
what if I give
You gave Robot Revolution an 8.5.
like an 8.59 or something like that?
Okay.
Let me.
That's what Will gave Robot Revolution.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it
8.59. Okay, David, what do you give Lux?
Lux. Okay, so before we talked about it, I would have said like a 6, but after we talked about it, I would say it's probably about a 7.
Okay. And Sarah, what would you give Lux?
Can I also rank Robot Revolution?
Of course
Absolutely.
you can. I have it all perfectly on a spreadsheet. So
okay, Robot Revolution, I give like a 5. I hate it.
I remember seeing your TikTok for it. I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah, no, I slammed it on social media.
No, I loved it.
But Lux, I really liked. It was like probably like a 7.5 or like an 8.
7.5? Okay.
Yeah.
For me personally, I give Lux like a 7. Yeah, I think I give Lux a 7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I'll just miss Will's. In that case, now what do we give the Well, Tony? I'll start off with you.
I'm gonna give it a 9.5. This was a
great
episode, and it's
Niko's also 9.5. Okay.
And it's like funny because like it was very self-contained, which is what I complain a lot about with these episodes because I feel like they could be more interconnected and everything. But this one, because it was a callback to a monster that we were aware of before, it gave more. Yeah, it's a 9.5 absolutely for me.
Do you okay, like before you watched Midnight, do you think watching Midnight increased your score for it again?
No, because I really liked it without Midnight, but it made me like Midnight even more.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. This will be very interesting when we go back to David Tennant after the season's done. David, what do you give Well? I was gonna say Swell.
I would say probably a 9.
9? Okay.
Yeah.
Sarah, what do you give Swell?
9.5.
I said Swell.
Swell. It was Swell. And I gave it 9.5.
Heather
Or
again.
Swole.
Or Swole. It's Heather and Hannah again.
It's listen.
Oh my
we
God.
just call it. You know, it's a big hole. They probably drop stuff into it, so it also could be called a dumpy.
I mean,
I'm giving
somebody
it a
did get
10.
dumped
I'm
in
giving
the hole at
God.
the end of the
I'm giving it a
episode.
10. Like
It's
to me-
perfect.
To me, it's perfect. To me, here's the thing: I'm very lenient giving out 10s. In my opinion, if there's nothing I think that could have been done better, you deserve a 10.
Well, Johnny,
All
because you have the
right.
prop, you can have your cake and eat it too if you'd like.
Oh.
I will eat my cake, thank you. I've only ever
Has that
taken
just
one
been
bite of
sitting
it.
here?
Yeah,
You haven't eaten any of it?
I took one bite. I was too busy talking.
All
Yeah,
that's
that
missing
checks
is a
out.
sonic fork.
Yes.
I can eat it with this, but I don't think that's sanitary.
I wouldn't try it. Don't do that.
I don't want to
Yeah.
do that to my favorite Sonic.
Don't stick your sonic probe into the cake, please.
Yeah, no, this is
You don't know where that's been.
But it's magic.
All right. This is now TBMA, maybe? Can
All
up
right.
the rating on this, Tony. You have to
Like,
give a warning.
Don't worry.
It's
All
like
of-
James Gunn wrote this episode now.
Every time I go to fill out YouTube for any of our shows, I always say it's not made for kids. It's
Period.
It's like- Tricks
Not
might
when
be
you
for
have me
kids, but
on
not-
it.
Yeah,
And it's
exactly.
all Johnny's fault.
Dude,
Yeah.
I was so close. Okay, here's the thing. I'm just going to briefly mention it. I'm not going to go into grave detail, but during this episode, they're like, yeah, no, or like everything in them is broken. I'm looking at the body. It's like not much is broken in there. Their leg is still perfectly stiff. That's not a broken femur or nothing.
Yeah, it was very toned down.
It should be more liquidy.
See,
Anyways.
and you gave it a perfect score, but like, hey, that body wasn't completely broken. That's not accurate.
Look, if the Kingpin can squeeze a guy's head and it looks bad and we still like it, that's
Nope.
fine.
Why are you still talking about this?
He even said before the show started, he's like, I may have like turned Sarah off because of my whole description on Daredevil, and he still brings it up.
I brought it up. I didn't go into grave detail.
Okay, so
Oh,
let's.
revolt. That's too much.
Anyways, red cake,
We
anyone?
gotta
It's
vote
red
for
velvet.
Yum. It's
And
red.
it's got white on it, just like Kingpin.
Oh my
I'm
goodness!
gonna
All
leave
right.
now, maybe.
And with that said, this has been Tardis Talk. We thank you so much for watching, whether it's been with us during the live or after, or if you're listening to this on the podcast network. Again, you can find that at us at it's fanbox.com or fanboxnetwork.com. And you can also find other shows that we're doing, including the After Andor show that happens on Saturday nights now, as well as The Real Study, who is a partner of the FanBox Podcast Network, which will be on, I believe, later today. But with that said, let's go ahead and give everybody a chance to say goodbye and where we can find you.
Hi, everyone. I am Marvelous Johnny. You know, the guy who gets into really gruesome details about things that he probably shouldn't. Yeah, y'all can find me on Twitch, YouTube. Definitely go to my TikTok. I can get into way more detail there, probably. I might get demonetized, but it's not like I get paid in Canada on TikTok. So, yeah. Marvelous Johnny with 2 L's.
Yep, and
Wait,
that's
who else?
the account for Sarah not to follow anymore. Sarah, where can we find you? Now we can put you up
Blocked and unfollowed. Yeah, I'm at Movies and Tea across all social platforms: Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Threads. I no longer have a Twitter, so just so you know, if you see
Neither
Movies
do
and
I,
Tea,
bestie.
it's not me.
Which means if you're watching this on Twitter, you're not going to get any more of her unless you go somewhere else, which you should, because it's becoming a cesspool.
Go to Blue Sky. It's better.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, absolutely. And then of course, Niko.
Hello, Niko Skywalker on TikTok, Skywalking Niko on Instagram. This has been Tardis Talk.
That was really fast.
Hi, I'm David Xanatos1138 on all socials, mostly TikTok, Twitch. You can find me for the next few weeks, Saturday nights, 10 p.m., talking about Andor, the Andor after show. And I am going to be at Fan Expo Philly. And I have press credentials for the first time. I have no idea what I'm going to do with those, but stay tuned.
Hopefully,
Yeah,
talk to
and-
Troy Baker.
And I just want to say, like on record, congratulations, David, for getting the first It's FanBox credentials to a convention. We haven't really tried that. We're still working on building up the site and everything else, so we can go to the big site, the big shows. But regardless,
NYC.
that's definitely
Yeah.
a great big thing. And so, guys, if you're on the show and you're wanting to go some of these smaller conventions, link to the work that you're doing, and you can also put on your page where you have all of your stuff, because you are linked to all of these shows. But regardless, beyond that, I also want to say we are going to be doing some other things. There has been talk about doing some other
Severance?
shows, Severance possibly.
Listen, I'm gonna promote right now. If anyone wants to do Severance, because I haven't had any biters except for one person, and there's a lot of episodes. So if anyone is interested, we're gonna basically, my plan was to watch every episode and break it all down before the third season, whenever that's
I have not seen any of it, so
okay. So then you can watch it,
that
and
be
then
fun content. There we go.
So yes, reach out to me, DM me. My DMs are open on Instagram.
And I highly recommend that, because I'll be honest with you, when I was starting to go through Doctor Who, these guys and Will were the ones that were keeping me going and keeping me interested, and I appreciate it because they were reliving it through it with me. Johnny,
what?
Do it. But with that said, we're also going to do some other things as stuff happens and as our creators.
I don't know what's happening. I'm so confused.
What I'm saying is
do the podcast.
Severance.
Oh, do the podcast. Yes, I will. I thought that was obvious. I'll take any.
Okay, great, yay! I'm gonna take her
to do a show with Sarah.
And I will also say, reach out to Will, because Will was really excited about the idea of doing a Severance type show.
Okay.
If he has time to do it, I think he would love to do that as well, and we'll get you set up.
Okay, I will force him and guilt him into doing that.
There is also something that I'm in the works with, and if any of you guys are interested in doing it, I know Johnny doesn't have the wherewithal right now to do it, but I am trying to get something together to talk about Sunrise on the Reaping, because I have finished the book. I love the series and definitely want to talk about that. And I believe Elle from the All Day Show is interested in doing that with me, along with somebody else. So we'll figure that out as well. But yeah,
and probably next week, David and I will do Tales of the Underworld for Star Wars too after May 4th.
Oh, yeah,
because that comes out soon.
And if you don't know this, and I'm just saying this now, you have 6 days to figure this out. This coming Saturday, May the 2nd or 3rd?
That'd be the 3rd, because May 4th is on a Sunday.
May the 3rd is Free Comic Book Day. Go to your comic book shop and get some free comics. There's
a Fantastic Four comic that's going to be free. There's an Ultimate Universe and Amazing Spider-Man one that's going to be free.
In the last couple years, there has been a Doctor Who preview comic. Oh, go look for it.
This also might be the last free comic book day for a long time, because Diamond went bankrupt and they were the ones funding this for the longest time.
Oh,
so definitely
that's so sad.
Do free comic book day if you can this year, because it might be the last one forever. Who knows? We'll see.
Oh, it's a bit dramatic.
Johnny, you should be on the next episode of Andor with us. I forgot about that.
I'm going to do my best. I don't think anything's on my schedule right now, and I will avoid adding anything on there unless something happens again, like a car crash.
Okay. Let's hope not another one. But with that said, I hope you guys have had a wonderful day. We will see you guys next time. We'll be talking about episode 4. We're getting closer to May the 24th.
Next week's episode is called Lucky Day.
Lucky Day. All right.
Which I'm pretty sure it's a lucky day for the white guy dating Ruby. So
yeah, or unlucky day, but we'll find that out. All right, everybody, go and say goodbye.
True. Bye.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Wait, that's what I'm